Genius is often seen as something innate, a rare gift bestowed upon an individual at birth. However, the origins of true genius lie not in the mere happenstance of nature, but in the careful cultivation of a person's early years. The formative stage of life plays a profound role in shaping an individual's mind, talents, and ambitions. It is within this critical period that the foundation for greatness is often laid, as the environment, family, and personal experiences converge to mold a future genius. Early childhood is a time of discovery. It is during these formative years that children begin to explore the world around them and develop the foundational cognitive skills that will serve them throughout their lives. A child's brain is particularly malleable, capable of absorbing vast amounts of information, which makes this period so crucial in the development of intellectual potential. This early exposure to different ideas, cultures, and ways of thinking is what sets the stage for future brilliance. Every experience a child encounters, whether through formal education, informal interactions, or even play, contributes to shaping their worldview and approach to problem solving. The first few years of life, specifically the early stages of childhood, are often marked by a deep sense of wonder. Children possess an insatiable curiosity, an innate drive to understand how the world works. This is where genius begins to take root. As children observe and experiment with the world around them, they begin to form mental frameworks, which, over time, become more complex and refined. At this stage, children are not confined by the boundaries of formal education or social expectations, and their minds are free to wander and explore. This process of exploration is one of the primary sources of creativity and innovation, as children, with little regard for failure or judgment, freely experiment with new ideas. For instance, many of history's great innovators and thinkers have recalled the vast amount of time they spent exploring their immediate surroundings, trying to understand how things work. Some may have taken apart clocks, others might have conducted their own experiments in the kitchen or backyard, while some would immerse themselves in reading or imagining fantastical worlds. It is this freedom of exploration, unencumbered by structured instruction, that allows creativity to flourish and genius to begin to take shape. A child's curiosity is unrestricted, and this unfiltered desire for understanding often leads to the development of new ways of thinking. Genius does not emerge from rote memorization or passive absorption of knowledge. Instead, it arises from active engagement with the world in ways that challenge conventional thinking. One of the most crucial aspects of this stage is the role of the family in nurturing intellectual development. A child's immediate environment, particularly the influence of their parents and caregivers, has a profound impact on the development of cognitive abilities. Families serve as the first teachers in a child's life. The values instilled by parents, the encouragement to pursue interests, and the emotional support provided during early years all contribute to the creation of a foundation for future success. Families that encourage their children to explore ideas, ask questions, and think critically are fostering the very conditions necessary for the development of genius. Parents often unknowingly shape their child's future greatness by simply creating an environment that fosters intellectual growth. This is not necessarily about providing the best education or formal learning experiences, but rather encouraging an inquisitive mindset. Encouraging children to ask questions, engage with books, and explore their interests in depth allows them to build an early intellectual foundation. Studies show that children who are exposed to stimulating environments, whether through books, discussions, or creative play, are more likely to develop higher cognitive abilities later in life. These early influences help to shape the child's ability to think analytically, solve problems, and engage creatively with the world around them. Moreover, the presence of a nurturing environment also plays a key role in building self-confidence, which is essential for intellectual risk-taking. A child who feels safe to express their ideas, share their thoughts, and challenge conventional thinking is more likely to develop a sense of self-efficacy, a belief in their own ability to succeed. In the absence of supportive environments, a child may grow up hesitant to take intellectual risks, fearing failure or judgment. Genius requires not only exceptional cognitive abilities, but also the confidence to pursue unconventional ideas, make mistakes, and learn from them. As a child grows, the family's role in fostering intellectual curiosity extends to creating a sense of discipline and focus. While curiosity is the driving force behind creativity, discipline helps to channel that curiosity toward productive outcomes. This is where the influence of education, both formal and informal, plays a significant role. Schools, mentors, and teachers provide structure to a child's learning and encourage the development of critical thinking skills. But even within the structured confines of education, children with a natural curiosity tend to excel. They ask deeper questions, seek more challenging problems, and push the boundaries of the knowledge presented to them. The support of mentors and teachers further enhances a child's intellectual development, especially when those individuals recognize and encourage the child's intellectual potential. Many of history's greatest minds credit their early successes to the guidance of a teacher, a mentor, or an individual who saw potential in them long before they recognized it themselves. Teachers, by nurturing a child's inquisitive nature and fostering an environment of academic curiosity, provide the scaffolding necessary for future intellectual achievement. These early mentor relationships often help a child refine their intellectual pursuits, encourage them to think critically, and push them toward higher standards of thinking and achievement. In many cases, early recognition of a child's talents is critical. Teachers, mentors, and family members who acknowledge a child's abilities at an early stage provide the child with validation, helping them understand that their natural talents have value. This recognition can serve as a powerful motivator, encouraging the child to pursue their interests with more dedication. Furthermore, it can provide the necessary resources, encouragement, and opportunities for the child to nurture and develop their abilities. Without early recognition, many potential geniuses may not have the confidence or resources to continue their pursuits. While the external environment and familial support are critical, it is the child's internal drive and intrinsic motivation that serve as the true foundation for their development. A child who is naturally curious, self-motivated, and passionate about learning is more likely to persevere in the face of challenges and continue to push the boundaries of their intellectual capacities. This intrinsic motivation is often what sets apart individuals who go on to become true geniuses. It is not the external recognition or validation that drives them, but rather their own internal desire to understand, explore, and create. Genius is often born from an insatiable curiosity, a hunger for knowledge that cannot be satisfied by simple answers or easy solutions. In this context, the early years of life represent a critical period for the development of intellectual abilities. It is during these formative years that children are most impressionable, and the experiences they encounter shape the way they approach the world. The early exposure to different ideas, creative play, and intellectual challenges fosters an environment where genius can emerge. By creating a nurturing and supportive environment, encouraging intellectual curiosity, and providing the resources necessary to pursue one's passions, families and mentors play an indispensable role in the cultivation of future greatness. It is important to recognize that genius is not confined to a select few individuals born with extraordinary abilities. Instead, it is a result of the convergence of many factors: early experiences, environmental influences, family support, and, most importantly, the child's own innate curiosity and drive. While external factors provide the necessary conditions for greatness, it is the child's own intrinsic motivation that ultimately determines their potential to achieve extraordinary things. The journey of developing a genius does not follow a linear path. It is shaped by a complex interplay of factors: curiosity, family, education, mentorship, and perseverance. These early experiences create a foundation upon which individuals build their knowledge, refine their skills, and develop the mindset necessary for greatness. It is in these early years, full of exploration and discovery, that genius begins to take shape. As the child moves beyond the initial stages of curiosity and exploration, their intellectual growth begins to take on more defined forms. By this point, the seeds planted during their early years begin to sprout into something much more substantial. The experiences they have during their childhood, shaped by family, teachers, mentors, and society, form the building blocks for their future. But it is not only the external influences that matter. It is also how the individual's mind begins to absorb, process, and organize these experiences. As they grow, a child's ability to integrate information and think critically becomes paramount in their journey towards achieving greatness. A child's early life is also the time when they begin to encounter more complex ideas, problems, and challenges. This is the stage where the foundational skills they learned earlier, such as questioning, experimenting, and exploring, begin to evolve into more advanced cognitive abilities. As the child enters school, the structure of formal education provides a platform for them to deepen their understanding of the world. It is here that they first encounter academic disciplines that require focused attention and specialized knowledge. While curiosity continues to drive their learning, the structure of formal education helps them navigate the vast ocean of knowledge, honing their intellectual abilities and guiding them toward more defined academic pursuits. One of the most pivotal moments in the development of genius comes when a child encounters the subject or field that resonates most with them. During the course of their education, there will often be a specific subject that stands out, one that ignites their passion and inspires them to dig deeper. This is where early influences play a vital role. A supportive teacher or mentor can help cultivate this interest by providing guidance and resources, and by nurturing the student's enthusiasm. These early academic interests may seem trivial to others, but they are the spark that fuels the desire for further learning and growth. Whether it's mathematics, literature, science, or the arts, the ability to focus on a particular discipline allows the child to channel their intellectual energy into something more specific and refined. A key characteristic of individuals who go on to achieve greatness is their deep passion for a specific area of knowledge. This passion acts as a driving force, propelling them to dedicate countless hours to their craft. It is not simply the love of learning, but the unwavering desire to master a subject and contribute new insights to it. In many cases, genius is born from this intense dedication and focus. As a child grows older and begins to specialize in their area of interest, their intellectual curiosity evolves into a form of obsession. This obsession is not unhealthy, but rather a concentrated energy that drives the individual to push boundaries and achieve extraordinary feats. The process of specialization is often accompanied by a significant amount of trial and error. As the individual delves deeper into their chosen field, they inevitably encounter challenges, setbacks, and failures. But it is in these moments of struggle that genius is often forged. The willingness to persevere in the face of failure is one of the defining characteristics of a genius. It is the ability to learn from mistakes, adapt, and continue pushing forward that sets great minds apart from others. Early failures, whether in academics, personal endeavors, or creative projects, become critical learning experiences that sharpen an individual's intellect and fortify their determination. For many future geniuses, the early years of their life are characterized by periods of intense focus and self-discipline. This is when they begin to understand the importance of consistency and hard work. The path to greatness is not always paved with natural talent alone. It requires relentless effort, a willingness to dedicate time and energy to one's craft, and the ability to stay focused on the long-term goal. While genius is often seen as an innate quality, it is the consistent application of effort and the commitment to improvement that ultimately distinguishes the greatest minds from others. The early development of these habits is critical to the future success of a genius. In addition to these internal factors, the influence of external recognition plays a significant role in the development of genius. As children grow and their talents become more apparent, they often receive validation from their peers, teachers, and family members. This recognition serves as both a source of encouragement and a motivator to continue pursuing their intellectual interests. While some children may not seek validation, others may find that it propels them forward. The positive reinforcement received from external sources, whether in the form of praise, opportunities, or awards, can help a child see that their talents are valued and worthy of further development. This external recognition can also open doors to new experiences, such as competitions, mentorships, and collaborative projects, all of which contribute to further honing their skills and expanding their intellectual horizons. However, genius is not always the product of positive reinforcement alone. In some cases, the lack of recognition or even discouragement can serve as a powerful motivator. Some of the most brilliant minds in history have faced skepticism or outright dismissal of their ideas. The ability to persevere in the face of criticism or indifference is often what separates those who achieve greatness from those who fall short. The experience of being misunderstood or rejected can ignite a determination to prove one's worth, to show that their ideas have merit, and to push beyond the limitations imposed by others. The resilience to continue in the face of doubt and opposition is a defining trait of many great thinkers. Throughout their educational journey, the individual continues to build upon the foundations laid in their early life. The experiences, challenges, and triumphs they encounter along the way further shape their intellectual development. But it is not just the academic journey that matters, it is also the personal growth that accompanies it. As they gain more knowledge, experience, and recognition, they also begin to develop a sense of their place in the world. This sense of self-awareness is essential for genius, as it helps the individual understand the impact they can have on their field and society at large. It provides them with the confidence to pursue bold ideas and to challenge existing paradigms. As they reach adulthood, the individual may choose to take their talents to the next level, whether through formal higher education, independent research, or a professional career. At this stage, the individual's intellectual journey takes on a new dimension. They are no longer simply absorbing knowledge, they are actively contributing to it. The transition from student to creator, from learner to innovator, is a pivotal moment in the development of genius. This is when their ideas, concepts, and theories begin to take shape and make an impact on their chosen field. The early life of a genius sets the stage for this transition. It is in the formative years, when intellectual curiosity, exploration, and passion first take root, that the foundation for future greatness is established. Family, mentors, and peers provide the initial guidance, but it is the individual's own curiosity, perseverance, and dedication that ultimately propel them to achieve extraordinary things. The path from early life to greatness is not linear, and it is not always easy, but it is in the challenges, setbacks, and breakthroughs along the way that genius is forged. As we look back at the lives of history's greatest minds, we see that their journey began long before they achieved recognition. It was the experiences, struggles, and insights from their early life that ultimately shape their path to greatness. The concept of mentorship and key figures in the development of genius is often one of the most profound aspects of a person's early life. Greatness, in many cases, is not achieved in isolation. It is nurtured by the guidance, encouragement, and influence of others. Throughout history, many brilliant minds have credited their success not only to their inherent abilities but also to the mentors and key figures who shaped their intellectual paths during their formative years. The presence of a mentor can be a pivotal moment in a young person's life, as it offers not just knowledge and advice, but also emotional support, validation, and the guidance needed to navigate the complex landscape of creativity and intellectual development. Mentorship is often considered a cornerstone of intellectual and personal growth, and for those destined for greatness, the influence of key figures, whether teachers, family members, or colleagues, helps ignite the spark of genius that may otherwise remain dormant. A mentor, in its simplest form, is someone who provides guidance, wisdom, and support in a way that accelerates the mentee's development. This relationship fosters an environment where ideas are freely exchanged, challenges are faced together, and knowledge is passed down in a meaningful and impactful way. The role of mentorship in the development of genius cannot be overstated. From the early stages of childhood, a mentor helps to direct the child's innate curiosity toward constructive learning and provides the tools necessary for their intellectual growth. For example, a teacher who recognizes the budding talents of a student and takes an active interest in their intellectual pursuits can provide the student with not only academic knowledge, but also a broader perspective on the world and their place within it. This form of mentorship goes beyond mere instruction. It often involves challenging the student to think critically, to approach problems from different angles, and to question preconceived notions. Mentors also serve as emotional pillars for those on their journey to greatness. The pursuit of genius is rarely straightforward. Along the way, there are often moments of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. During these moments, a mentor can provide reassurance and help their mentee maintain the belief that their aspirations are worthwhile. For many, it is the encouragement and affirmation from a mentor that provides the motivation needed to continue their pursuits in the face of adversity. Without such support, a young person may feel disheartened by setbacks and be tempted to abandon their ambitions. But with the right guidance, the individual can learn to navigate these challenges and use them as opportunities for growth and development. While mentorship is vital, it is not just the guidance provided by one person that shapes the genius. The broader community of key figures, whether family, peers, or other intellectuals, also plays a significant role. In many cases, a young person's family may serve as the first source of guidance, shaping their worldview and providing the initial values and principles that form the bedrock of their intellectual development. Families that encourage curiosity and provide access to a range of intellectual resources, whether books, travel, or cultural experiences, set the stage for the development of creative thinking and critical problem-solving skills. These early influences often shape the way a person approaches the world, inspiring a lifelong passion for learning and discovery. In addition to the family, the presence of intellectual communities, peer groups, or like-minded individuals also shapes the trajectory of a young genius's development. Interaction with others who share similar interests and ambitions fosters an environment of mutual inspiration and collaboration. This intellectual camaraderie allows for the exchange of ideas, debate, and mutual support. Often, genius is not born in a vacuum but is cultivated in an atmosphere of dynamic intellectual exchange. The encouragement, constructive criticism, and new perspectives offered by peers can push an individual to refine their ideas and approach challenges in new and innovative ways. Furthermore, exposure to great thinkers and key figures within a chosen field provides the young intellectual with a model of excellence. Whether through reading the works of past geniuses, attending lectures or seminars, or directly engaging with established experts, young minds are often inspired by the achievements of others. This exposure helps to shape their understanding of what is possible and sets high standards for what they can achieve. It instills in them the belief that they too can contribute something meaningful to their field. As individuals grow older and enter more advanced stages of their intellectual journey, the role of mentors and key figures continues to evolve. At this point, mentorship may take the form of more formal relationships, such as academic advisors, colleagues, or professional networks. The guidance offered during this stage is crucial, as it provides the intellectual scaffolding needed to tackle more complex problems and challenges. These mentors can also help individuals build their professional networks, connect them with like-minded individuals, and provide opportunities for career advancement. The connections made during these years often serve as the foundation for future collaborations, breakthroughs, and innovations. It is important to recognize that mentorship is not just a one-way relationship, it is reciprocal. While the mentor imparts wisdom, the mentee often brings new perspectives and fresh ideas to the table. This dynamic exchange is what makes mentorship so powerful. It is a partnership between two individuals who are working together to further their intellectual and personal growth. As the mentee grows and develops, they too become mentors in their own right, passing on the knowledge and wisdom they have gained to the next generation. In this way, the cycle of mentorship continues, perpetuating the growth of genius and innovation across generations. The concept of mentorship is deeply intertwined with the broader theme of collaboration. Genius, as history has shown, is rarely a solitary pursuit. It is often the result of collective efforts, where individuals come together to pool their knowledge, resources, and ideas. Collaboration allows for the exchange of diverse perspectives, enabling new ideas to flourish and evolve. It also provides individuals with the support they need to push through challenges and achieve breakthroughs. Many of the world's greatest achievements were not the result of a single individual's efforts, but rather the collaborative work of a group of like-minded intellectuals working toward a common goal. At the core of mentorship and collaboration is the idea that greatness is not achieved in isolation. It is nurtured by the guidance of others, inspired by the achievements of great minds, and shaped by a community of intellectuals and thinkers. The early life of a genius is marked by a series of encounters with key figures who provide the wisdom, support, and opportunities necessary for their intellectual development. These mentors and intellectual communities help shape the trajectory of the individual's growth, providing them with the tools and mindset needed to pursue greatness. The importance of mentorship cannot be overstated, as it is the catalyst that propels individuals toward achieving their full potential. However, it is not just the presence of mentors that leads to greatness. It is also the willingness of the individual to embrace the guidance and wisdom offered. Genius is not simply the result of innate talent, it is the product of hard work, persistence, and the willingness to learn from others. Through mentorship, individuals are able to refine their skills, broaden their perspectives, and ultimately achieve the extraordinary feats that define true greatness. As the individual continues on their journey toward greatness, the influence of mentors and key figures continues to shape their path. Whether through encouragement, guidance, or collaboration, these relationships serve as the foundation for the individual's success. The mentorship experienced during the early years forms the framework upon which future genius is built. It is through these relationships that individuals are able to reach their fullest potential, break new ground, and leave a lasting impact on their chosen field. The pursuit of genius is not an individual endeavor, but a collective journey, shaped by the mentorship and support of those who came before, those who walk beside, and those who will follow in the future. As we continue exploring the significance of mentorship and key figures in shaping a genius, it is important to recognize the role that guidance plays in overcoming the inevitable obstacles that come with the pursuit of greatness. The journey toward intellectual achievement is often long, difficult, and fraught with challenges. However, it is through these challenges that the individual's resilience, creativity, and determination are tested. This is where mentorship becomes even more crucial. Mentors are not just guides to success but also to failure, showing their mentees how to turn setbacks into opportunities for growth. One of the primary reasons mentorship is so valuable is that it provides a safety net during moments of doubt. Many great minds throughout history have spoken of their moments of insecurity, questioning whether their pursuits were worth the effort or if they were on the right path. During these times, the support of a mentor, someone who has walked a similar path, can offer not just reassurance, but also practical advice on how to overcome self-doubt. A mentor helps their mentee see beyond the present frustration, guiding them back to their goals and reminding them of their past successes and future potential. Mentors can also provide valuable perspective. In the early stages of intellectual development, a young person may be overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information and the complexity of the problems they face. A mentor who has already navigated these challenges can help the mentee focus on the most important aspects of their journey. They can teach their mentee how to prioritize tasks, how to break down complex problems into manageable steps, and how to stay focused amidst distractions. This form of mentorship helps the mentee build the mental tools needed to tackle problems independently, as they learn how to structure their thoughts, think critically, and make informed decisions. Moreover, mentorship teaches resilience by introducing the concept of constructive failure. Often, we associate failure with a lack of ability or talent, but for those striving for greatness, failure is an essential component of learning. Mentors, by sharing their own stories of failure and the lessons they gleaned from those experiences, help their mentees understand that failure is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. It is through failure that the mentee learns important lessons, rethinks strategies, and develops the creativity necessary to solve problems. A mentor can also provide the emotional support needed to cope with failure, ensuring that the mentee doesn't internalize setbacks as evidence of their inadequacy, but rather as part of the natural process of growth. While a mentor's role is often to guide, support, and offer advice, they also play a critical part in helping the mentee expand their network. Access to a broader intellectual community can be a game changer in a genius's development. Many of the world's greatest minds were able to achieve greatness not just through their own efforts, but also by collaborating with others who shared their interests and passions. A mentor who is well connected can introduce the mentee to other thinkers, innovators, and professionals in their field, facilitating the exchange of ideas, experiences, and opportunities. This network can provide valuable feedback, collaboration opportunities, and exposure to new ways of thinking. The importance of building relationships within a field cannot be understated. Often, groundbreaking ideas emerge from collaborations where different perspectives are brought together to create something greater than the sum of its parts. As the mentee matures, the mentorship dynamic begins to shift. What was once a highly guided relationship evolves into one where the mentee becomes more independent, eventually finding their own voice and intellectual identity. However, the mentor's influence does not disappear. Instead, it continues to inform the mentee's approach to problem-solving, creativity, and decision-making. Over time, the mentee's perspective broadens, and they begin to see the world through the same lens of critical thinking, curiosity, and perseverance that their mentor once imparted to them. The mentee may, at this stage, find themselves in a position to mentor others, passing along the knowledge, wisdom, and lessons they have learned. At this point in the journey, it is important to emphasize that mentorship is not just about the transfer of knowledge. It is about creating an environment where intellectual curiosity is cultivated, creativity is nurtured, and personal growth is prioritized. While a mentor can certainly impart knowledge, their true value lies in how they foster an individual's ability to think critically, pursue their passions, and embrace the challenges that come with the pursuit of excellence. Genius, in many ways, is as much about mindset as it is about intellectual capacity. It is about having the courage to push boundaries, the resilience to overcome setbacks, and the curiosity to continue exploring. It is also worth noting that mentorship is a long-term process. While mentors can provide invaluable advice and insight at key moments in a mentee's life, the true benefits of mentorship unfold over time. A mentor may not always provide immediate answers or solutions to every problem, but by instilling the right mindset, they equip their mentees with the tools they need to navigate the challenges that lie ahead. The effects of mentorship often become evident years down the road, when the mentee reflects on their journey and realizes how the lessons they learned from their mentor have shaped their approach to problem-solving, collaboration, and innovation. In some cases, mentorship extends beyond the formal relationship between a mentor and mentee and becomes part of a broader community of intellectuals. Great minds often find themselves part of intellectual circles or networks where ideas are shared freely and collaborations are encouraged. These communities allow individuals to engage in debates, discussions, and collaborations with others who share similar interests while also challenging their own ideas and assumptions. Being part of such communities enables a young genius to test their ideas, refine their thinking, and develop their intellectual identity within a larger context. Furthermore, these communities serve as a source of inspiration. The more a person is exposed to the work of others, whether through collaboration, reading, or attending conferences, the more they are inspired to push their own limits. The exchange of ideas helps to propel innovation and ensures that the pursuit of knowledge remains dynamic and forward-thinking. When young minds are surrounded by a network of individuals who share their passion for innovation and excellence, they are more likely to feel motivated to continue their journey, knowing they are part of something greater than themselves. In conclusion, mentorship and the influence of key figures play a crucial role in shaping a genius's early life and intellectual journey. From providing guidance and emotional support during moments of doubt to fostering intellectual growth and creativity, mentors are indispensable in the development of future greatness. Through mentorship, individuals are exposed to new ideas, pushed to think critically, and equipped with the resilience and tools necessary to navigate challenges. In turn, the relationships formed with mentors and key figures help build a strong foundation for future success, shaping not only the mentee's intellectual abilities, but also their mindset, outlook, and approach to life. As these young minds mature, they continue to carry forward the lessons learned from their mentors, passing them on to the next generation, and ensuring that the legacy of mentorship continues to fuel the pursuit of genius for years to come. Curiosity and exploration serve as the backbone of intellectual development, particularly in the early stages of life. For any future genius, these fundamental traits are the bedrock upon which the structure of great ideas is built. In childhood, curiosity is not just a passing whim but a deep-rooted desire to understand the world in its full complexity. Children do not simply ask questions for the sake of asking. They are instinctively compelled to seek explanations for phenomena, often pushing the boundaries of what is considered known. This drive to explore is what sparks innovation, propels creativity, and fuels the intellectual growth of a child destined for greatness. A child's curiosity is often unencumbered by the constraints of formal education or societal norms. It is a pure, unfiltered search for knowledge. Whether it is a fascination with the natural world, an interest in the mechanics of everyday objects, or a desire to understand the complexities of human behavior, curiosity allows young minds to approach learning without boundaries. The questions that children ask are often the first steps toward profound discoveries. In their world, there is no such thing as an irrelevant question. Every inquiry is a potential pathway toward deeper understanding and new insights. This early exploration, where the child is free to follow their own interests without the pressure of academic performance or external expectations, fosters the development of critical thinking skills. A curious child learns to connect disparate ideas, see patterns that others might overlook, and engage with the world in an active, participatory way. It is through exploration that children begin to form their own mental frameworks, initial hypotheses about how things work in the world around them. These mental models, while rudimentary in the beginning, evolve over time as the child encounters new experiences and information. The ability to create, refine, and adjust these models is a critical part of intellectual development, and it is this process that ultimately leads to breakthrough thinking and innovation. However, curiosity alone is not enough to lead to true genius. It is the combination of curiosity with sustained effort and discipline that produces exceptional outcomes. Exploration is not only about the immediate thrill of discovery, but also about the patience and persistence required to delve deeper into any given subject. It takes time for curiosity to blossom into true expertise. The journey from initial interest to mastery requires an individual to engage deeply with their subject of interest, often grappling with difficult concepts, encountering dead ends, and encountering moments of confusion or frustration. It is during these times that curiosity, fueled by a passionate desire to understand, drives the individual to persevere. In the early years of intellectual development, the influence of a child's environment plays a key role in nurturing curiosity. The world a child is exposed to, whether through books, experiences, or interactions with others, shapes the questions they ask and the areas they choose to explore. Families, for example, play a significant role in fostering curiosity. Parents who encourage their children to ask questions, who expose them to new ideas, and who create a stimulating intellectual environment are essentially laying the groundwork for the child's intellectual growth. By fostering a culture of curiosity at home, parents help their children develop the habits and attitudes that will support lifelong learning and exploration. Teachers and mentors are also crucial in nurturing curiosity. A great teacher doesn't simply impart facts. They engage students' curiosity, asking them to think critically, to ask questions of their own, and to explore new ways of approaching problems. Teachers who inspire curiosity are those who encourage students to wonder, to dig deeper, and to seek out answers for themselves. These early intellectual encounters, especially when they come from teachers or mentors who genuinely care about their students' intellectual development, often spark lifelong passions and pursuits. Curiosity also plays an essential role in the development of problem-solving skills. The process of inquiry, asking questions, hypothesizing answers, testing ideas, and revising them based on new evidence is fundamental to the scientific method, critical thinking, and intellectual advancement. Great minds are not necessarily those who know the most. They are those who ask the right questions and have the perseverance to seek answers. The ability to frame problems in new ways and challenge conventional wisdom is often what sets genius apart. It is curiosity that leads individuals to break through established boundaries and make new discoveries. Whether in science, the arts, or technology, Curiosity drives progress by pushing individuals to explore what has not yet been explored. This passion for exploration, when nurtured in the right environment, creates a fertile ground for genius to take root. As children grow older and encounter more complex problems and ideas, their ability to explore, question, and connect ideas becomes the foundation for innovation. True intellectual development is not a linear path. It is a process that thrives on exploration, experimentation, and, sometimes, failure. The willingness to explore without fear of failure is a hallmark of creative minds. For individuals destined for greatness, the freedom to explore and experiment without the constraints of predefined outcomes is vital to their intellectual and personal growth. It is also important to note that curiosity leads to the development of a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. This mindset is essential for those who are on the path to greatness because it allows them to approach challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to avoid. A person with a growth mindset sees mistakes and failures not as reflections of their inherent abilities, but as stepping stones toward mastery. Curiosity, when coupled with a growth mindset, creates an unstoppable force for intellectual and personal development. As curiosity continues to drive an individual throughout their educational journey, it becomes the foundation for a life of learning and growth. The most successful individuals are those who never stop being curious. Their intellectual journey doesn't end when they graduate, publish their first paper, or reach a significant milestone. Instead, their curiosity leads them to continue seeking new knowledge, exploring new ideas, and contributing to their field. This lifelong commitment to exploration is what sets the truly great apart from others. They don't rest on their laurels. They continue to ask questions, seek answers, and challenge the status quo. In essence, curiosity is not just the starting point of genius, it is the fuel that keeps the intellectual fire burning throughout a lifetime. In addition to curiosity, exploration is also about the willingness to embrace the unknown. The unknown is where true innovation happens. It is in the uncharted territories of thought, creativity, and experimentation that new ideas are born. Great minds are not content with the familiar. They seek the unknown because they understand that it is in these unexplored areas that groundbreaking discoveries and innovations await. The willingness to embrace the unknown requires not just intellectual courage, but also the ability to take risks, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. Those who dare to venture into uncharted waters often find themselves discovering things that others could not have imagined. As we continue to explore the relationship between curiosity, exploration, and intellectual development, it becomes clear that these forces are integral to the process of becoming a genius. Curiosity ignites the spark of exploration, which in turn leads to problem-solving, creative breakthroughs, and innovation. The process of intellectual exploration is ongoing, never static, and it is this dynamic quality that defines true genius. To be a genius is not to possess an inherent, static gift, but to engage with the world in a continuous process of questioning, exploration, and growth. This lifelong commitment to curiosity and exploration is what allows individuals to push boundaries, discover new ideas, and ultimately achieve greatness. Genius is the result of a mind that never stops asking questions, never stops exploring, and never stops growing. The journey from curiosity to deep intellectual mastery is shaped not only by the individual's internal drive, but also by the presence of challenges and obstacles that inevitably arise along the way. These challenges, whether in the form of academic difficulties, personal struggles, or societal barriers, can often serve as a crucible in which intellectual resilience and creativity are forged. For those destined to achieve greatness, adversity becomes an opportunity to innovate and push the boundaries of conventional thought. This is where curiosity and exploration intersect with perseverance and determination, creating the perfect conditions for true genius to emerge. When individuals are faced with challenges, their innate curiosity often drives them to seek solutions, to find new ways of thinking, and to approach problems from a different angle. These moments of difficulty are not seen as deterrents, but as invitations to explore deeper. A genius is someone who does not simply accept the limitations imposed by challenges, but views them as the impetus to discover new possibilities. The willingness to confront adversity head-on, coupled with the curiosity to explore potential solutions, enables individuals to develop novel approaches and groundbreaking ideas. For instance, many of the world's most revolutionary thinkers and innovators encountered significant obstacles in their lives. Albert Einstein, for example, faced academic struggles in his early education. His teachers dismissed his abilities, and he was even labeled as slow or problematic by some. Yet this did not discourage him. Instead, it spurred him to think outside the box, to question existing scientific theories, and to eventually revolutionize the field of physics. Similarly, in the realm of technology, Steve Jobs faced numerous setbacks, including being ousted from his own company, Apple. However, instead of giving up, Jobs channeled his frustration into further innovation, leading to the creation of the groundbreaking products that would eventually redefine the tech industry. These stories highlight an important aspect of the relationship between curiosity, exploration, and genius: the ability to persist through adversity. Rather than succumbing to challenges, geniuses use them as a stepping stone to greater understanding and achievement. It is through struggle that new perspectives are formed, and it is by overcoming obstacles that individuals can refine their ideas, perfect their craft, and unlock the potential that lies within. The adversity faced by a genius often plays a significant role in shaping their approach to problem-solving and creative thinking. The experience of failure, rejection, or difficulty often deepens the individual's understanding of their field and drives them to seek innovative solutions that others might overlook. Moreover, challenges also serve to foster resilience, an essential trait for anyone on the path to greatness. Resilience is not simply the ability to bounce back after failure, but the ability to continue forward with renewed vigor, armed with the lessons learned from past setbacks. This type of resilience is cultivated through an ongoing process of exploration, failure, and refinement. When individuals are exposed to hardship, they are forced to adapt, to find new ways of thinking, and to develop a mindset that is flexible and open to change. This adaptability is key to intellectual growth and plays a crucial role in the development of genius. Without challenges, there would be no need to innovate, to refine ideas, or to push boundaries. The very essence of genius is to continually evolve, to embrace change, and to see potential where others see only obstacles. The process of learning through adversity is a critical aspect of intellectual development. Every challenge faced by a future genius provides an opportunity for growth, whether it's through acquiring new knowledge, refining old ideas, or rethinking previous assumptions. In this way, challenges are not just obstacles to overcome, they are integral components of the journey toward intellectual mastery. The capacity to turn adversity into opportunity is what differentiates those who are merely talented from those who achieve greatness. Genius is often marked by an individual's ability to rise above adversity, to transcend limitations, and to transform setbacks into fuel for future success. Furthermore, the exploration of new ideas and solutions often requires breaking away from traditional thinking patterns. Geniuses are often those who challenge the status quo, who are not afraid to go against the grain, and who are willing to risk failure in pursuit of something innovative. In many cases, this willingness to think outside the box is what enables individuals to make significant breakthroughs. The process of exploring new ideas, no matter how unconventional they may seem, allows individuals to create new paradigms, push the boundaries of knowledge, and redefine what is possible. As society becomes increasingly complex and interconnected, the ability to approach problems from unique angles becomes even more essential. Those who possess the intellectual courage to explore new frontiers, whether in science, art, business, or any other field, are the ones who will ultimately shape the future. This willingness to explore uncharted territories is deeply connected to the resilience that emerges from facing challenges. When individuals step into the unknown, they often encounter resistance, skepticism, and doubt, both from others and from themselves. However, it is precisely in these moments of uncertainty that true genius is tested. The ability to persevere through doubt, to continue exploring despite the challenges, and to trust in one's ability to find a solution is what ultimately leads to success. Many great minds, from Leonardo da Vinci to Marie Curie, faced significant challenges in their careers, but their ability to overcome these obstacles and continue their work propelled them to the heights of greatness. Their perseverance, coupled with an unwavering curiosity and willingness to explore new ideas, allowed them to make lasting contributions to their respective fields. Curiosity, exploration, and the willingness to face challenges are interconnected in the development of genius. Each one reinforces the others, creating a cycle of intellectual growth and achievement. Curiosity sparks exploration, which leads to the development of new ideas and solutions. When these ideas are met with resistance or failure, curiosity and perseverance drive individuals to continue refining their thoughts and seeking out new avenues for discovery. Through this continuous cycle of exploration, learning, and adaptation, genius is cultivated. The importance of perseverance cannot be understated in this context. It is not enough to simply have curiosity or explore new ideas. The true test of intellectual greatness is the ability to persist in the face of challenges. This perseverance is what allows individuals to continue their intellectual pursuits, even when the path forward is unclear or fraught with difficulties. The ability to continue forward despite setbacks is what distinguishes geniuses from those who give up when faced with obstacles. This type of persistence is built over time through the accumulation of experiences, failures, and lessons learned along the way. Finally, curiosity, exploration, and perseverance contribute to the broader process of creating new knowledge. Geniuses are not just individuals who possess exceptional intelligence. They are the ones who contribute new ideas, challenge existing paradigms, and push the boundaries of what is known. It is through their willingness to explore, to question, and to persist through adversity that they are able to make groundbreaking contributions to science, art, literature, and other fields. This process of creating new knowledge is a collaborative effort where ideas are built upon, refined, and challenged by others. It is the culmination of individual and collective intellectual pursuits that leads to the advancement of human understanding and the development of new ideas that shape the future. In conclusion, the journey toward greatness is a multifaceted one that requires a blend of curiosity, exploration, and perseverance. These qualities, when nurtured and cultivated in the early stages of life, provide the foundation for intellectual and personal growth. Challenges and setbacks, far from being obstacles, become opportunities for innovation and development. The process of exploration, experimentation, and refinement allows individuals to transcend traditional thinking, push the boundaries of knowledge, and to achieve greatness. The pursuit of genius is not a linear path, but a dynamic, ongoing process of learning, adapting, and evolving. It is through this journey that individuals shape the future of knowledge, creativity, and innovation. Challenges and obstacles are intrinsic to the development of genius, serving as both barriers and opportunities in an individual's intellectual journey. For most people, challenges are seen as disruptions that hinder progress or lead to failure. However, for those who achieve greatness, challenges are pivotal moments in their development. These obstacles, whether personal, academic, or societal, push individuals to think beyond conventional limits, fostering the creativity and resilience necessary to excel. When individuals are confronted with obstacles, their natural curiosity often drives them to find solutions, explore alternative paths, and adapt their thinking. Instead of viewing challenges as setbacks, those with an intellectual bent of mind perceive them as opportunities to refine their ideas and grow. A genius, for instance, is someone who refuses to be defeated by failure, who seeks out new approaches when faced with problems, and who continues exploring even when the solution seems elusive. Whether it is in the form of early academic struggles, rejection from peers or mentors, or societal limitations, these difficulties test the individual's determination and shape their intellectual identity. Historical figures who have shaped the course of human knowledge often faced significant adversity. Albert Einstein, for example, was initially labeled as slow by his teachers and struggled in traditional educational settings. Similarly, Thomas Edison's early failures in his experiments did not deter him from achieving groundbreaking inventions. These individuals did not allow the limitations they encountered to define their future. Rather, they used adversity as a catalyst for deeper exploration. They learned from their mistakes, adapted their thinking, and found new ways to approach problems. In this sense, obstacles were not roadblocks but essential stepping stones in their intellectual development. As these challenges persist, individuals who go on to achieve greatness often find themselves developing a unique intellectual resilience. Resilience is the ability to withstand difficulty and bounce back from setbacks, but for a genius, it's more than just recovery, it's the growth that comes from struggle. Every failure, rejection, or obstacle encountered becomes a learning opportunity, forcing the individual to rethink their approach, consider alternative possibilities, and find innovative solutions. Through the accumulation of experiences, intellectual resilience is formed. This resilience is not just about persisting in the face of adversity, but about using each challenge to refine one's ideas and methodologies. For many intellectuals, setbacks are seen as part of the larger creative process. They develop a mindset that embraces the possibility of failure as a natural part of discovery and progress. Challenges force them to refine their skills and broaden their perspectives, eventually leading to deeper insights and greater innovation. As a result, overcoming obstacles becomes a crucial part of the process of developing genius. The journey to intellectual excellence, therefore, is not a smooth, uninterrupted path. It is marked by a series of challenges that require the individual to push the boundaries of their thinking, persevere through difficulties, and adapt in creative ways. Those who achieve greatness do not shy away from these challenges but meet them head-on, using them to fuel their intellectual growth. The obstacles themselves are as much a part of the genius journey as the moments of success. In fact, they often lay the groundwork for the breakthroughs that shape the future of knowledge and innovation. Passion and obsession are two fundamental driving forces behind the intellectual journey toward greatness. While passion is often seen as the initial spark that ignites interest and motivation, obsession is the intense, almost single-minded dedication that takes this passion to an entirely different level. Passion alone might inspire a person to pursue a field or idea, but it is obsession that compels them to dig deeper, push boundaries, and spend countless hours perfecting their craft. Together, they fuel the tireless pursuit of excellence that is a hallmark of intellectual achievement. Passion is the emotional attachment and deep love for a particular subject, interest, or activity. It is what draws an individual to a specific field of inquiry, whether it be art, science, music, literature, or philosophy. Passion is the force that initially attracts people to explore new ideas and dive into areas they find intellectually stimulating or creatively inspiring. It makes the journey exciting and fulfilling, providing the individual with a sense of purpose and direction. Passion often arises from an individual's natural interests or from an early experience that sparks an emotional connection to a subject. However, passion alone is often not enough to bring about monumental change or intellectual breakthroughs. This is where obsession steps in. Obsession is the relentless commitment to a pursuit, the kind of drive that keeps a person engaged in their work even when challenges arise. While passion might inspire an initial interest in a subject, obsession turns that interest into a full-time endeavor. Obsession often means immersing oneself so deeply in an area of study or practice that it becomes all-consuming. It compels the individual to spend every waking hour thinking about, working on, or exploring the subject, often at the cost of other areas of life. Obsession can take on various forms. For some, it manifests as a focus on perfecting a skill, whether it's an artist refining their technique or a scientist working to solve a specific problem. For others, it may be about exploring every possible angle of a theory, experimenting with different approaches, or dedicating oneself to a long-term project with a single-minded commitment. This obsessive nature is often what separates great thinkers from average ones. It is the unwavering dedication to a field that drives the most groundbreaking ideas and the most innovative solutions. The benefits of obsession are evident in the achievements of many historical figures. Thomas Edison, for example, was known for his obsession with invention, spending countless hours in his laboratory experimenting with different technologies. His obsession with finding a practical solution for electric lighting led to the creation of the incandescent light bulb. Similarly, Albert Einstein's obsession with understanding the fundamental laws of physics led him to develop the theory of relativity, which revolutionized our understanding of space and time. In both cases, their obsession with their respective fields drove them to explore deeper, question assumptions, and ultimately make discoveries that reshaped the world. But obsession is not without its challenges. The intense focus required can sometimes lead to burnout or neglect of other areas of life. The pursuit of excellence can come at the expense of social relationships, physical well-being, or mental health. The obsessive nature of great minds often isolates them from others, as their thoughts and efforts are consumed by their work. Despite these potential downsides, obsession remains an essential part of the process of achieving greatness. It is through obsession that individuals are able to push through obstacles, overcome failures, and make lasting contributions to their fields. While passion provides the initial motivation to start a journey, obsession is the factor that sustains it over time. Passion can be fleeting, and without obsession, it may fade away when the road gets tough. Obsession, however, is the persistence that drives individuals to overcome setbacks, stay focused, and continue their intellectual and creative pursuits until they achieve mastery. It is obsession that allows individuals to look beyond the ordinary, to see what others might miss, and to break new ground in their areas of interest. Together, passion and obsession create the perfect conditions for innovation and greatness. Passion brings excitement and emotional engagement, while obsession ensures that the individual remains committed and driven over the long haul. Those who are truly great in their fields are often those who combine a deep, abiding love for their work with an obsessive dedication to mastering it. This blend of passion and obsession is a powerful force that fuels intellectual growth, creativity, and, ultimately, the achievement of extraordinary success. Early recognition and support are often the critical elements that propel individuals toward intellectual greatness. While talent and determination are vital for success, being recognized early for one's abilities can provide the affirmation and encouragement necessary to continue exploring, learning, and innovating. Recognition not only validates a person's abilities, but also motivates them to keep pursuing their intellectual passions, often at a time when self-doubt might otherwise undermine their progress. This early acknowledgement can significantly impact a person's sense of self-worth and belief in their potential, setting them on the path toward achieving greatness. Recognition serves as an important form of external validation. When a mentor, teacher, or even a peer acknowledges an individual's abilities, it can offer reassurance that their pursuits are meaningful and valuable. This validation can have a profound effect on an individual's confidence, especially in the formative stages of intellectual or creative development. For many, the realization that their ideas or talents are valued by others encourages them to persist through challenges, engage more deeply with their work, and embrace their potential. Without recognition, individuals may not fully realize the extent of their abilities, leading them to miss opportunities for growth or to abandon their pursuits prematurely. Alongside recognition, support plays a vital role in nurturing intellectual potential. Support comes in many forms: emotional, intellectual, and even financial, and provides the individual with the necessary resources to cultivate their talents. Emotional support, especially from family and mentors, fosters an environment of trust and encouragement, allowing individuals to take intellectual risks and explore new ideas without fear of failure or judgment. The encouragement to experiment, ask questions, and push boundaries is essential for creative growth. Without this emotional safety net, a brilliant mind might hesitate to pursue unconventional ideas or tackle difficult challenges. Intellectual support, on the other hand, provides the direction and guidance needed to refine skills, deepen understanding, and explore new areas of knowledge. In academic or professional fields, access to knowledgeable mentors, teachers, and peers who provide constructive feedback is invaluable. Their input helps individuals recognize blind spots in their thinking, challenges them to approach problems from different perspectives, and provides opportunities for collaborative work that can elevate their ideas. This support helps avoid intellectual stagnation by pushing the individual to continually improve and evolve. Financial and practical support can also significantly enhance a person's ability to fully explore their potential. Access to resources, whether in the form of scholarships, research grants, or professional opportunities, allows individuals to pursue their intellectual and creative ambitions without being held back by financial constraints. For instance, many scientific breakthroughs or artistic innovations have been made possible by the financial backing of institutions, sponsors, or patrons. This practical support removes barriers to access and ensures that individuals have the necessary tools to explore and develop their ideas. Early recognition and support also pave the way for greater opportunities later in life. Recognition at an early stage can open doors to educational institutions, internships, fellowships, or collaborative projects that further develop the individual's talents and broaden their intellectual horizons. In many cases, the encouragement and validation received in the early stages of one's career or education serve as stepping stones to future success. A well-timed recommendation, exposure to a broader community, or access to advanced resources can propel an individual toward their ultimate goals, often fast-tracking their path to success. Moreover, the effect of early recognition extends beyond intellectual growth. it also influences an individual's ability to make an impact in their field. Those who are recognized and supported early in their careers often find themselves surrounded by a network of like-minded individuals and experts who offer additional guidance, feedback, and opportunities for collaboration. This network effect helps foster creativity, allowing individuals to build on each other's ideas and develop more innovative solutions to complex problems. In conclusion, early recognition and support are powerful tools in the development of genius. Recognition validates the individual's talents and provides the encouragement needed to persist in their pursuits, while support offers the resources, guidance, and practical assistance necessary for intellectual and creative growth. The combination of these two elements helps nurture a person's potential, setting them on the path to success and ensuring that their abilities are fully realized. As we look at the lives of many influential figures, we see how early recognition and support provided the foundation for their future contributions to society, shaping their intellectual journeys and enabling them to leave a lasting impact on the world. Mentorship and the influence of key figures are fundamental in shaping the intellectual and creative development of individuals destined for greatness. While innate talent and curiosity are vital, the presence of mentors and influential figures can provide critical guidance, direction, and support, enabling the individual to refine their abilities and pursue their ambitions with confidence. Mentorship plays a pivotal role in nurturing raw potential, offering both wisdom and practical advice, while key figures, whether personal mentors or influential thinkers in one's field, serve as models of excellence and sources of inspiration. Mentorship, in its most effective form, goes beyond simply offering advice. A mentor becomes a guide, a source of inspiration, and a sounding board for ideas. They help the mentee navigate the complexities of their field, providing both intellectual direction and emotional encouragement. The role of a mentor is to challenge the mentee to think critically, question assumptions, and approach problems with a fresh perspective. In this relationship, the mentor does not simply impart knowledge but fosters an environment where the mentee can engage with their ideas, make mistakes, and learn through experience. The mentor-mentee dynamic is built on trust and respect, creating a space where both parties can exchange ideas, collaborate, and grow together. The early experiences with mentors can be especially transformative, providing crucial feedback at a time when the individual is just beginning to develop their intellectual identity. The guidance provided during these formative years shapes the way the mentee approaches challenges, refines their thinking, and deepens their understanding of their chosen field. A mentor's encouragement can inspire confidence, helping the mentee to push past self-doubt and stay committed to their intellectual pursuits. Moreover, the mentor's experiences offer invaluable lessons that cannot be learned from books or classrooms. These real-world insights help the mentee navigate the often unpredictable path to intellectual achievement, providing them with strategies for overcoming obstacles, dealing with setbacks, and continuing to pursue excellence in the face of adversity. In addition to providing intellectual guidance, mentors play an essential role in fostering emotional resilience. The journey to intellectual and creative greatness is rarely smooth. It is fraught with challenges, failures, and moments of uncertainty. Mentors serve as emotional anchors, offering support when the mentee faces discouragement or failure. This emotional guidance is particularly important because it encourages the mentee to view setbacks not as signs of inadequacy, but as opportunities for growth and learning. Great mentors help their mentees maintain a positive mindset, motivating them to persevere through difficult times and reminding them of their potential when self-doubt sets in. Beyond the mentor-mentee relationship, the influence of key figures within a particular field can have a profound impact on an individual's intellectual journey. Key figures in the broader intellectual community, whether they are established experts, thought leaders, or pioneers in a specific field, serve as role models who provide a vision of what is possible. These figures, through their own work, demonstrate the heights that can be reached through dedication, creativity, and innovation. They inspire others to follow in their footsteps, contributing to the cultivation of new ideas and pushing the boundaries of knowledge and creativity. Exposure to the works of these influential figures is often one of the most significant sources of inspiration for young intellectuals. For example, an aspiring scientist may be inspired by the groundbreaking work of figures like Albert Einstein or Marie Curie, while an artist might look up to masters like Leonardo da Vinci or Pablo Picasso. The achievements of these individuals set the standard for excellence, encouraging young minds to strive for greatness. They help define what is possible within a field, providing both a roadmap and a challenge for those who come after them. Mentors and key figures not only inspire but also open doors to opportunities that might otherwise remain inaccessible. Through the mentorship of established individuals in a particular field, the mentee gains access to a network of professional contacts, collaborations, and resources that enhance their own work. These connections can lead to joint ventures, academic partnerships, and career opportunities that are instrumental in shaping the individual's trajectory. The support and endorsement of a respected mentor can also provide credibility, helping to establish the mentee's reputation within their community and beyond. While the influence of mentors and key figures is critical, it is also important to recognize that the mentee's own agency plays a vital role in this relationship. A successful mentorship is not just about receiving guidance, but about actively engaging with it. The mentee must be willing to learn, question, and challenge the advice and perspectives offered by their mentor. A proactive approach to mentorship allows the mentee to internalize lessons and develop their own intellectual independence, while still benefiting from the mentor's experience and wisdom. Over time, the mentee may even become a mentor themselves, passing on the knowledge and insights they have gained to the next generation of thinkers. The relationship between mentors, key figures, and their mentees or followers contributes to the creation of an intellectual community. These communities, built on shared ideas, experiences, and goals, provide a supportive environment where creativity, innovation, and intellectual curiosity thrive. Collaboration within these communities leads to the exchange of ideas, the development of new concepts, and the collective advancement of knowledge. The impact of mentorship and key figures is, therefore, not limited to individual success but extends to the larger intellectual ecosystem, shaping the future of a field and driving progress in ways that no single individual could achieve alone. In conclusion, mentorship and the influence of key figures are indispensable in the development of genius. The guidance provided by mentors fosters intellectual and emotional growth, helping individuals navigate the complexities of their chosen field and persevere through challenges. Key figures, through their achievements and influence, set the standard for excellence and inspire others to push the boundaries of what is possible. The dynamic between mentorship, key figures, and mentees is symbiotic, driving both personal and collective advancement in intellectual pursuits. Through these relationships, individuals gain the tools, resources, and inspiration needed to realize their full potential and contribute to the ongoing evolution of knowledge and creativity.